The students called it Burt because it's a Burmese python.
Truman State University doesn't just have dorms full of students, they also have a population of snakes.
This one eats small mammals, rats, and mice. In nature, it eats a lot of different things. It'll eat alligators, it'll eat birds, it'll eat mammals. They can eat up to 100 and 125% of their body mass.
The animals come from all around the nation.
Alligator was actually given to us because it was confiscated in St. Louis. We work with organizations in St. Louis, Kansas City, across the country. We've actually gotten surplus animals from a couple of different zoos.
Like 50-pound Burt.
This one is actually common in the pet trade, so it was given to us by somebody that had it as a pet, and then it got too large for them to take care of.
Dr. Chad Montgomery, assistant professor of biology at Truman State.
That's actually a copperhead. That's a venomous species.
Studied snakes all over the world.
On this island that I work on in Cayos Cachinos, boas don't have any natural predators, and they have a very high density. So there are a lot of snakes around, so it's pretty easy to go out into the forest and find snakes hanging from the trees and in the leaf litter. And so it's one of the few places where you can actually go and find a lot of snakes in a very small area. I've worked with boas in Honduras. I've worked with invasive species in Gran Canaria, Spain. I've worked with a number of different species of conservation concern in the tropics.
Most people, Dr. Montgomery says, are afraid of snakes.
A lot of people have an innate fear of snakes because that's what they've been taught. But often with small children, they're very inquisitive, and so they want to come up and see the snake, and so they'll touch it.
Myself included.
Are you okay? And most snakes are harmless. People think that snakes will bite you and things, but most native snakes won't even bite, and the vast majority of them are not venomous.
But Montgomery says we should instead be more afraid of what's happening to the snakes.
Reptile and amphibian populations are declining. Amphibians are declining at a faster rate than reptiles are generally, globally, because of loss of habitat and because of various diseases that are becoming very prevalent. So the loss of amphibians as a class is currently is equivalent to the last dinosaur extinction. We're talking about the same number of species because if you imagine frogs, all the individual species, most of them are now threatened.
Bringing awareness to the situation.
This is an African spur-thighed tortoise.
Through having animals right on campus.
It's a great resource for the community, and I think it's a great resource for the university because having these animals here draws attention to the biology program. Very few biology programs across the United States have an outreach program like this. On any given day, we'll have parents bringing their children by because there are a number of, because we do so many events with the schools and different groups, a lot of the kids in Kirksville know these snakes by their pet names.
Helping others learn something new.
There are workers here. People can hold the animals.
About creatures that might not seem so scary once you get to know them.
They'll assume it's a snake because it doesn't have any legs, but in fact it's a lizard. And so the way that you know that it's a lizard is because it has ears. One of their defenses is to drop their tail, so they'll actually purposely get their tail to fall off.
Reporting in Kirksville, I'm Jacqueline Schutte for KTVO.